All right, boys. I was gonna give you guys a second to get people in here, but we're already at double-digit viewers. So, how's everybody doing? Today, there's a little bit of confusion I saw in the chat. We're not actually ranking the teams today. We're talking about the pros and cons because I have to do this on my own to decide which teams are good and which teams are not. So I decided, hey, why not go ahead and throw it up on a stream so I can get your guys' opinion too. So I'm not alone doing this. So how's everybody doing? I see a lot of familiar faces in chat. And Thriller, what master were you talking about got deleted? I didn't see any deleted coming through on my end, but I'm excited to stream, guys. I've been thinking about it a lot. And if you missed the channel member announcement, for those of you that are not channel members, I'm going to try to start streaming every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I really enjoy streaming. I probably enjoy it more than making videos recently, to be completely honest. So I'm just going to try to do it more. So just got home from work and just wanted to go live here. Mr. Junior, Mr. Pay, Mr. Foot, how are we doing? Sorry about that. So I have already on my phone made notes throughout the day of what I think of each Chi-Yu team. And so we're not going to go over Chi-Yu's teams today. We're going to go over Ting Lu and we're going to go over Wo Chien. And we're going to see, as a collective, what we think of these teams. We're not going to rank them yet. I'm going to rank them on my own. And then we're going to have the power ranking stream on March the 23rd. 2 Saturdays from now. I saw it again. I just had to refresh. Gotcha. But yeah, if you guys are not a channel member, first of all, for as low as 99 cents a month, you too can become a channel member today. Get some really cool emotes, which our channel members will throw in the chat right now. But on top of that, we are going to go ahead and stream Mario Kart this Friday. I'm going to throw up the stream for that after this stream gets done with. So be sure to tune in for that on Friday. And then on, I guess not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we'll have the power rankings. I'll be back in a bit. Good luck, Trey, with your Wi-Fi game. Wo Chizzy? Oh, you guys want to do Wo Chien first? I cannot believe you got me to say Wo Chizzy live. Yeah, there's all those beautiful emotes. And we have 2 more coming up, too. We got 2 more coming up. We got a Gengar Wave, and we have a Imbor Bernardo salute coming up. So be excited for that. What's going on, Armenia? How is everybody doing? And be sure, while you're here, go ahead and leave a like, man. It's absolutely free. Helps push us into the algorithm. Helps us out a ton. But we'll go ahead and jump in here if you guys want to. I hear a lot of Wo Chiens. Go ahead and spam the chat with which division you want me to do, actually, between Ting Lu and Wo Chien. Because, like I said, I already did all of these Chi-Yu teams. I've given them a rating out of 10, how I feel about them, some pros, some cons. And we're going to do the same with these Ting Lu and Wo Chien ones. And the good thing about giving you guys 15 weeks to get week 1 completed this season is I can actually put a little bit of thought into this and not do this the night before, like I have the past 2 seasons. So there will be coherent. Yo, Thriller, thank you so much for re-subscribing or re-becoming a channel member. Really appreciate that. My biggest supporter in the chat. Biggest channel supporter in the chat. Yeah, Bernardo. Don't gas my team too much. The weight of expectation is crushing. I actually don't know what. Actually, your team was. I do remember your team. Your team was pretty good. Yo, Thriller, thank you so much for gifting 5 channel memberships. I really appreciate that. Shiny Ursa Ring 03. I see Urs in the chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Thriller. Thank you so much for that, man. And you know what? You know what as well? I also promised. To go ahead and throw up 5 channel memberships if I do recall. If we hit like a certain threshold of reactions. So I'll go ahead and also do my due diligence. Sign me. I'm gonna throw up. It's just gonna keep running. Thank you again so much, Thriller. I'm also gonna throw up. I'm not gonna throw up. I didn't finish my sentence. I'm also gonna put forth 5 channel memberships right now. 5 gifted. We're throwing them out there. 5 more people. Congrats on your channel memberships. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to check out all the cool perks that you have right here. You got some emotes. You got so much cool stuff. You get the member only Discord after this stream. Name and description until your channel membership runs out. So much cool stuff. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate all of you. I see Cocky getting it. My PayPal is mad at me because I did that. Yo, who has Braylip? EXTR. Who has Braylip as their profile picture? That is one of my absolute favorite Uranium mons, dude. You're making me want to play Uranium right now. Let's chill out. Yo, Zodiac. Oh my gosh, Armenia. We're getting some classics. Cocky. Giving lots of people channel memberships here. I think that's Cocky's alt, actually. So Cocky now has 2 channel memberships, I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Cocky. Thank you, everybody. But I'm curious, John, with how much I've been a member for and all the donors I've given you. Can you see how much I've sent you over the months? I do not know. I can make a note. I think I've looked into it actually, because I've been curious, obviously. I don't think I can see what an individual person has given me, but I can see day by day, month by month, week by week, year by year. So, and also like the how the revenue was generated as far as like ads, memberships, or donations. I can see that, but I can't see individual people. At least to my knowledge. There might be a way, I just don't know. Let's go, SJ. Yo, what's going on, Dashing? What's going on, Bash? By the way, guys, be sure to leave a like if you have not already. Helps the stream out a ton. There's gonna be so many somebody sign me's. We just got 10 donated subscriptions there, 10 donated memberships. So again, let me know right now, do you guys want to see me do Wo Chien or Ting Lu? You know what, we'll start a poll actually, what I'm thinking about is spam the chat and we'll start a poll. Whatever I see more of is what we'll do. Alright, the poll has started. Let me know which divs you guys want to do. I think you're not very late. We haven't done literally the task at hand we haven't done yet. We've talked a little bit, but Whoa, Chi-Yu again? I've already done Chi-Yu, unfortunately. I did Chi-Yu on my own time. I did not think I was going to do this stream. But I've very much so been enjoying streaming, more so than video making recently. So I wanted to throw one up for you guys. Because to me, I'll go on a little tangent while this poll is going on. To me, the most fun part about making content has been the community, has been you guys. I've really enjoyed interacting with you guys, getting to know you guys, all the different personalities, having an outlet to meet all these cool people through Draft League. It's been really cool. And honestly, I don't know if I would have kept, if I didn't do JJDL originally, which shout out to SJ for the idea originally, I don't know if I would still be uploading, at least not as consistently, a year later. I don't know if I would be, because JJDL has been probably my favorite part about uploading or content creation recently. Let's see what we got in the chat going on. Lots of Wo Chiens. My yearly gifted membership. I'm not going to be doing this league, but it'll be fun to spectate. I might be getting back to leagues, though, with a low-tier Terra, with assigned Terra's Paldea Dex League, and a National Dex League. It's good to hear, Armenia. Keep us updated on how you're doing that. Just do Chi-Yu again. I mean, if you guys want to, we can run through Chi-Yu and say what I do like and do not like about them. I haven't actually rated too many of these yet. Jamal is 48. That's not a joke. I was not joking about that. I told him that. He thought I was joking. He thought I was being funny. I wasn't being funny. He's 48. Definitely over $1,000. At least probably, right? Probably. Glad you enjoyed it so much. Appreciate you starting up JJDL. Yo, there's the Kippy. Oh yeah, I forgot. He also promised to donate 5. Shout outs to Kippy. I appreciate you, man. TyTheTyrant has the worst team in this league. TyTheTyrant is not in this league, Keegan. I appreciate you hating on Jason whenever possible, though. Let's go. Yo, shout out to being here, Tummy. Thank you so much. Thank you guys again so much. Appreciate you guys. We got 15 gifted memberships today alone. I guess I'll throw it up on screen one more time. For as low as 99 cents a month, you too can become a channel member. We got so many cool perks, man. We got so many emotes. Everybody in chat damn near can use an emote. So if you got an emote, please throw it out. Throw out a chien-pao, throw out something. We got new cool ones on the way. With the gifted 15, I might even be able to pull up more. We have 2 new ones on the way. We're gonna retire Zama Hype, and we have a Gengar wave coming up, and then we also have a new Bernardo salute coming up, because he's obviously an integral part of this channel now. But you get so much cool stuff, man. So I know it's getting kind of blocked, but you get the idea. I'm just wondering where I stand on PR. So this stream is just going to be talking about pros and cons. The PR stream is going to be on March the 23rd. Somebody sign me. This one is just going to be talking about pros and cons of certain teams, because I have to go through and do this anyway with all 48 of these teams, so I might as well with you guys as well. I will not be doing it with the chien-pao teams because it's Wi-Fi and I don't want to spoil what everybody got, because we got, you know what, hold on. I'll spoil what people got a little bit, huh? I'll spoil what I got a little bit, maybe. Oh wait, do I want to do that? Yo, what's going on, Chef? How are you doing? All right, we'll talk about Chi-Yu first, and I'll give my basic thoughts on a lot of these teams. It looks like there's a row missing. What the heck happened? What happened? What's going on? Yeah, it looks like there's like a row missing here. Oh no, that's very weird. Okay, so what are some of your favorite Chi-Yu leagues? Chi leagues or Chi-Yu teams? Oh, don't spoil. I enjoy my exclusive mod knowledge. I'll talk about my favorite Chi-Yu teams in a second. Real quick, I do want to show you guys the finished product for the slides. Let me get it up here. JJDL Season 3 draft slides. Do I want to show you guys my very first pick? I can't show you any other ones because that will spoil literally everything. So here's some exclusive insider knowledge. If you are here right now, we unfortunately got the 16th pick, which is not what I wanted. Why no Chi-Yu? Because I've already done Chi-Yu on my own time. We can go through, since it's been requested a lot, we can go through and say my personal opinions, though. I'm not feeling as evil on YouTube. I think it's regular chef. Oh, yeah, regular chef. All right, here we go. Here's my first pick. I got the 16th pick. It's funny, you can see Wynn's team. But I got the 16th pick. I took Tera Raging Bolt. I think this thing's crazy. I'm going to talk about it more in the draft analysis, but here's how the slides are ultimately going to look. You can see the draft word at the bottom, the little exclusive for all my people turning up for me today. It's going to be awesome. Here's the draft slides. I think they turned out fantastic for like pretty low effort for me comparatively to like GPU graphics. I think they turned out pretty well, and I'm going to delete that now. But Tera Raging Bolt, 16th pick, I'm very happy with that. I also think it's cracked. It was unfortunate, and the Pokemon that I wanted went right before me, or 2 picks before me, but with Tera Raging Bolt there, I was like, hey man, I'm not going to complain. 16th isn't even bad. 16th, okay, I like 16th pick, generally speaking, especially in a deck like this that has better top tier threats, but I've been so unlucky with picks in Gen 9. Other than the BBR pick last season, I've been super middle of the pack or super late. I wanted to get the first overall pick so I could take something like the Pokemon that I originally wanted. But ultimately, Tera Raging Bolt was my second most wanted Pokemon. So I'm not mad. Like, if I had the second pick and the Pokemon I wanted went first overall, I would have taken Tera Raging Bolt second. Does that make sense? I'll explain it better in the draft analysis. Tera Raging Bolt's great, yeah. You kind of like them over the GPU graphics? Oh, thriller. I think the GPU graphics are the best graphics a Draft League has ever seen. Bias? Who's to say? But, all right, boys. We're losing interest here, so we're going to go ahead and talk about Chi-Yu. We're going to talk about my opinions on each of the teams. Just some little pros and cons. We're going to start out with Cole, which, shout out Cole. And by the way, throw out what you think of these teams in the chat too. This is not just a me talk about them thing. That will be the PRs. This is, I want to hear what you guys have to say about these teams too. So what do we think about Cole's team? My initial opinion is that his top 5 right here, these 5 together are ridiculous. These 5 can come to almost every single game and pose a massive threat. There were a couple things I don't like about the team. The first one is the hazard game isn't very strong. You're going to force Clefable into a rock and roll quite a bit because these guys obviously all very much so enjoy a little bit of rock chip on their Pokemon. And then there was no bulky water on a team that doesn't really enjoy Ice Beam, Ice Move. Generally speaking, it's a really good team, but those were my 2 major gripes with the team. And I really like these top 5 together. I'll give chat a second to catch up because I know there's like a 93-second chat delay, but what's going on, Cole? How you doing? How much for a replay analysis of the game I just played? I can do that for you if you want. If you send it to me, we can do that. We can do it. We'll do it at the end if I remember. You might go to bed soon. Send it to me, and then we'll discuss these teams for a second, and then we'll talk about it. Whole team is fire true. Everybody's team is a 10 because you're all great. I think a lot of these teams are actually pretty good. I think the average rating for Chi-Yu was a 7. If I go back and look at it, which is compared to past seasons, that is very good. Past seasons has been like average 5. Yeah, it's like a little above 7 is the average for Chi-Yu this season. So, team's good but has flaws. Yep. I don't like how Fortress is the only hazard setter or remover, but otherwise fire. Yep, that is true. Hey, Cocky on the other account now. So that's kind of where I stand with this team. Yeah, it can't take on ice-type moves. I would enjoy, like, you could bring Terra Water Belly Bolt every single week if you wanted to, but you're going to be at a disadvantage because you're not going to be bringing one of these 5 Pokemon, which I think all synergize very, very well together. And if you bring these 5 and Belly Bolt, you're not going to have Fortress, so you're not going to have removal, you're not going to have probably rocks or spikes unless you force it on Clefable. I don't know, it's a good team in general, but that's like my one gripe with it's much better than Cole's team last time. I think last time, correct me if I'm wrong, Cole, but I think last time you ranked absolute last. You are not going to rank absolute last this time. We'll talk about what you rank on March the 23rd, but are you ranking them all? We're just talking about pros and cons right now, and then the actual power ranking stream will be on March the 23rd. But moving on, we'll talk about Bleedle a little bit. Let's see. What did I write down for Bleedle? Well, first of all, let's talk about Dragapult and Uncle Mike. Right? He did what I couldn't. This combination is fantastic. I love these two guys together. And obviously, I think Iron Treads also works pretty well with these guys. Where this team falls short, though, I don't even have to look at my notes for this one. Where the team falls short is going to be a lack of ground resistances. It's just Shaman. It all falls on Shaman. And then I am going to actually look at my notes. I'm a liar. Oh yeah, you have 4 points left. Why did you do that? I don't know if I'm very much so sold on Iron Hands being the Terra Captain here. I think you could mix things around, have a different Terra Captain, and put these 4 points to use. Because I don't like, on a 115 point board, I don't like 4 points just sitting there. Yeah, I was dead last. Yeah, I thought so. How high would she use average be if Jamal had a real team? It'd be a lot better. Honestly, I wasn't even factoring in Jamal's team to the average, though. Lowest score I gave was 6. Personally, all the teams are great, but for some, there's major flaws. That's true. I mean, there's like, I think there were 5 I wrote down that I really didn't like, but other than that, they're all really good. Terra Hands does sound fun, but on this specific team, I don't know how much I like it. Logo does not show the best point guard. I don't know, man. I'm a big Curry guy. I'm a big Curry believer. That was the first draft I ever did. You did much better this draft, Cole. Congrats. Shaman's great, but as the only ground resist. I agree. Yeah, could never hit an Uncle Mike team. That's what I'm saying. So, my major concern with this team, the absolute top tier major concern, even more than the ground weakness, even more than is Uncle Mike Terra going to be good? Who knows? Like, it's going to be good, but is it the right choice on this team? Who knows? My biggest concern with this team is you look at it, where are the breakers? Dragapult, speaking from experience, Dragapult is a Pokemon that really enjoys breakers on its team. They made such a difference whenever I traded out Slitherwing, which was a good breaker, that I just felt like I couldn't bring to a lot of matchups, so it was just sitting on the bench collecting dust, and I had to bring these non-breaker Pokemon for Bernardo, a Pokemon that I brought 3 out of 3 times. It was an absolute phenomenal breaker. It made the world of a difference. The only true Pokemon that I would consider a breaker on this team, I don't know Inteleon's special attack off the top of my head, so it might be a breaker, is Iron Hands. And as your Terra Pokemon, you probably don't want to pigeonhole it into a certain role of being a breaker. I'm not the biggest fan of that. So when Dragapult U-turns, what do? You go Treads and you Volt Switch? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of having no breakers on this specific team. I think Dragapult really benefits from having some breakers. Oh man. Offense is crazy on his team. Yeah, exactly. We tried our hardest to get him Terra. Raging Ball? Who? Bleedle? Oh no, oh Jamal. I got you. Have you submitted a form yet? I have not submitted a form yet. Would you want stats as to who's the best or worst team? Yes, I would. So I haven't submitted a form because I don't want... First of all, I haven't looked at every single team, but I don't want my opinion to be set in stone. I don't want it to be like, I put it in this form, so it has to be what it is for the stream, because my opinion changes every day that I look at these power rankings, to be honest. Like, it's not a set in stone thing. So I probably won't submit a form, but I would love to compare the stats of what I have to what you guys have in the stream. Absolutely. That would be March 23rd. Dragapult sucks. Listen, man, I'll talk about it on Saturday with my retrospective. It needs breakers on a team. Yes, it does. Absolutely. 125, but it's paper thin. Fair. With an Inteleon, I assume. Pole can be amazing in-game if you chip the team down. Exactly. And that's my point with this team. You have a lot of trouble chipping the other team down. It'd be one thing maybe if it was like a full hazard stack team, you had like a Glamora on this team maybe, then we'd be talking a little bit different. But having not great hazard game, like you have good rockers but you don't have any spikes and you have no breakers, it's not my favorite. It's a good team. Hey, Dragapult, Uncle Mike, you can't go wrong. As long as Uncle Mike beats the allegations, of course, you can't go wrong. However, otherwise, it just doesn't have breaking power. The Dunsparce best breaker, exactly. Stats maybe a day or two before the stream. Sounds good, Klies. Let me know. I can also ping everybody in the announcements if you want me to. Or SJ might have already. I didn't see. But next up, we got Noah. And no, I like your team a lot, actually. I had a lot of good things to say about your team. I do remember your team. So, I know I told you this in the chat, but I am a big fan of Latias and Glimmora. I think these two work very well together. Terra Latias is something that I think benefits from... I think it's something you can ignore when drafting around it because of how versatile it can be. It's probably the best Terra option on the board. Might even be frame 1, round 1, pick 1 type Pokemon with Terra, right? I do still think it's allowable. I might be proven wrong. Anyway, a little bit off topic. I think it's a Pokemon that you can kind of ignore. But you chose not to ignore it and instead play directly into it, which worked out fantastic. You have hazards. You have ways to break darks, which is something that obviously Lottie doesn't enjoy. You have ways to break steals, which is something that Lottie doesn't enjoy. You have pretty much all of the types that you want on this team, and I think it's really good. I think the cons for this team are more Pico and Komala. These dudes don't need to be here. Trade these out for a bulky water, man, and then your team is set. Like that's literally what my note is. Like, trade these two out for a bulky water. I know you wanted a second Terra captain. It is what it is. They have no purpose on this team. Trade them out for a bulky water. You're golden, in my opinion. Why is Hans named Uncle Mike? Where does the name come from? Great question. So my friend Nathan has an uncle named Mike, and he says he looks like Hariyama. So he names Hariyama Uncle Mike. I love Newt. That is one of my favorite nicknames of all time because it was funny. It was out of nowhere whenever he said it. So I always name my Hariyama Uncle Mike. And then when Uncle Mike came out, or when Iron Hands came out, I was like, I can't think of a good Iron Hands nickname. We'll just call it Uncle Mike 2.0. Futuristic Uncle Mike. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Off topic, who do you and chat think the best draft league mon this gen? Urshifu. I think it's Urshifu single, and I don't think it's relatively close. I know it's a super unpopular opinion, but I really do think it's Urshifu. Who do I need to ping? Did you already ping people for the community response forum? Sorry. I mean, finds with Terra Latias and OGDL, so it does seem extremely versatile. Glimmora's okay at removal, but not really. Glimmora, I like Glimmora as a remover, but you also have Scizor as well. Scizor, I think, is fantastic at removing this gen. John, stop this Komala hate. I don't hate Komala, but when you get Komala, it's like, okay, so I have something to maybe switch into Spectre, right? You have Ursaluna. Like, there's no reason to have Komala because maybe you need another spinner. You have Scizor, you have Glimmora, you have removal. You don't need Komala. Komala is useless on this team. I'm sorry to say it, SJ. Morpeko is like Quaquaval, but balls? Did I read that right? Quaquaval? That's a foot moment if I've ever seen one. Come on, Dave Vibey. I know, but look at your team, right? Like, this team would very much so benefit from a bulky water. Your team doesn't like ice types at all. Your team doesn't love fire types at all. I mean, it can kind of switch in, but like, if once you get the Terra off with Latias, it doesn't have the most. I bulky water, I think, is the only thing this team's missing, realistically. No way I'm hoarding removal. We'll see how the team looks at deadline. Glimmora is a decent spinner, but you don't want to use it as a spinner always. Yeah, you don't want to use it as a spinner always. I agree. I think Glimmora is a Pokemon that kind of does have 4 move slot syndrome because it has so many good moves. But that's my basic take on your team, though. We're going to move on here because I don't want to stick on any one team too long. I'm getting so many pings everywhere. Everybody's telling me how mad they are that I did this and I did that. Stop posting feet in my chat. Now. Next, we get to talk about Chef Evil, who I know was not able to make the stream today, but Chef was able to make the stream. Chef, I know you're probably going to talk in place of Chef Evil today. Chef Evil, but good, as I like to call you. So let's talk about Chef Evil's team. Both have a move that does same damage and raise speed, basically the same mon. Let's chill out. 3-foot combo is broken. Stop. Watching this 45-second ad just for you, Cocky. You can skip it, I promise. Thank you, though. Okay, so I love the malicious start here with Darkrai. I think I laughed my ass off whenever I forgot I have to try to not cuss on streams because I got demonetized once. I laughed very hard whenever you posted Darkrai but evil, or whatever you posted, maliciously start with Darkrai. I think it's so funny and I think it fits perfect, very on brand. My main gripe with this team, if I remember correctly, I think you have good Pokemon that work well together. I like Darkrai Hazard stat quite a bit. I think it's very nice. I like the court change aspect with Cinderace to break the steals. You have Iron Crown to break the fairies, Okidogi to break the fairies. My main concern was that you don't switch into fairies once Iron Crown gets that Terra off. I don't hate Iron Crown with Terra. I actually like Iron Crown a lot with Terra. However, I think this specific team would benefit from moving that Terra to Landorus Therian. Landorus Therian is more of like a glue piece, a middleman type Pokemon in this specific build. And I think you want Iron Crown to keep that Steel type with the Pokemon you have. That was like my main gripe with this team. And you could just take the Terra off Mismag. I think I did the math. You could take the Terra off Mismag, slap the Terra from Iron Crown to Lando T, you'd be set. And I like your team a lot. Basculin sucks. Don't use that Pokemon. Thoughts? What are we saying down here? Chef Evil's team pretty crazy. Dogi. I like Okidogi a lot. I think it's a good mom. Iron Crown is a sleeper. Iron Crown is very good. Terra Iron Crown specifically is very great. Cinderace switches into Specs and Namorous. Pay, you're saying crazy stuff today, man. What are you doing? I felt this team was a little weak for me. I gave it 7 out of 10. It's good, but the last couple of picks I feel were not needed. That is completely fair. Actually, one of my notes was, I love Tatsugiri, big Tatsugiri fan, but again, once you Terra it, it's not going to be, unless you Terra into a water type, it's not going to be your water anymore, and this team does not like ice types. Iron Crown is so crucial for the defensive backbone of this team, it's insane. SPO had Darkrai on Fraud Watch, which I find a little funny. Is there a fraud, you tell me? So, I fought to the death. I don't know if I don't remember if we made a Darkrai debate video with me and Owen, but we had so many debates in GBU about whether or not Darkrai was allowable, and I fought tooth and nail to say it was better than chien-pao. My opinion has since changed. Do not tell Owen that, please, for the love of everything. Don't tell Owen he was right, but he was right. Okay? All right, we're moving on. Nobody tell him that. Not a soul. I won a league with Basculin. Pay, you are saying so many out-of-pocket things. I can't wait to see what John thinks of my team because I don't even know what I think of my team. I mean, if you use Basculin with Eviolite, let's chill out. Look, I'm a fan of Tatsugiri. I love Tatsugiri, but it's the same thought process as you don't want to tear out Iron Crown because you're going to lose that integral part of your defensive backbone. I mean, Tatsugiri isn't even really a great water type. I don't know. It's a good spinner. I like it. But, yo, what's going on, Daniel? How you doing? Tatsu's such a fraud? No, who said at OGalbina? Ban them, SJ. No, don't ban them. They're a channel member. It's Draco. Don't ban him. No, don't clip it and put it in his server. The only true thing I've said today. Okay, we're moving on. So Ursa over here, we got Big Ursa. I saw him in the chat. I think he got a channel membership too. I feel bad if he didn't now that I said that out loud. He might have not. Let me scroll up. Let me find him. We're gonna move on. He probably got a channel membership. So this is a Rain team for sure. I think Rain is bad this generation, but I think there are a couple of saving graces. I think that if he would have Terra'd Regieleki, if he would have Terra'd Archaludon, this Rain team would have been great. I do also think, as much as like I like PZ, I love PZ. One of my favorite normal type Pokemon. Round 1 PZ is obviously a little bit crazy. However, and I think this is Ursa's second league, unless they did others besides JJDL as well. I think that this team would very much so benefit from Terra Archaludon or Terra Regieleki. Personally. I'm sorry, Ursa. No, I lied. No, I thought you got the channel membership. Would my team be better with Lantern? Yeah, to be honest, yeah, it would, actually. I actually do think your team would be better with Lantern. I also like Lantern, so maybe I'm biased, but... Ursa is thrown by not having Archaludon. So, SJ does preach. He literally has the whole league in a chokehold, talking about how Terra Archaludon should be banned. We didn't ban it. It's 18 points. And we also didn't ban Terra Regieleki, because I think that mon's kind of bad, and we didn't receive negative feedback on that one. So... But I think in this situation, both of these would be better Terra Captains than PZ plus Barraskewda, in my opinion. Ursa round 1 Florges. He did round 1 Florges last season, you're correct. But I like the Terra. Hey man, at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, right? I'm just critiquing because people watch me and throw money at me. Right? You know what I mean? And obviously, the main reason I'm doing this is because I love the community. But look, if at the end of the day, if you want to have fun, you have the Terra Fish, and that's what's fun to you, do it, man. But if you want the team to be better, I do think Archaludon or Regieleki is the right way to go. Being real for once, I don't like teams where people just spam Swift Swim Waters on Rain teams and draft. Usually you're boys, hold on. Everybody say hello to Zaba. He was a sleepy kitty. He was sleeping on my couch. I didn't even see him. What do you have to say, Zaba? Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, bye-bye. I did not even see him there. I've been trying to get for like 10 minutes, but the button doesn't show up. I actually do think there's a problem. If you are on mobile, there's a problem with gifting subs specifically. Cat, silly Zaba moment. Yes, yes, chat, yes. Pretty soon we'll have a Gengar wave emote that you can spam for him. I'm glad everybody loves Zaba. Way more than I do. I'm giving him away for absolutely free, by the way. All you have to do is come pick him up. Someone that used Terra Reggie, like you have to regular season to finish like top 5 and 10 in kill leaders. I say it's only Terra ban worthy if you know how to make it broken. That's fair. I used it, and I think that if you're playing people who know what they're doing, it's not very good. But if you play people who don't know what they're doing, it's fantastic. So that's where I stand. Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on to Central, a mod. Ooh. You just made the lantern move for week 2. I'm doing post grace power rankings. So remember that. So your team, my ranking on your team will not change with the lantern, but just keep between me and you your second best team. Because there's a team that I think is the best, and I think it's hands down undisputed. There's not a team that can even come close to topping it. I joined to immediately see more Zaba hate. How's it going, Kirby? Everybody say hi to Kirby. Be sure to ping him. I'm a GeoGuessr gamer. If anyone wants Zaba, I can find him. Hit me up. No, you can just have him. I will sit him outside. Okay, so Central's up next. Central, I got bad news. Not in love with your team. I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with your team. And it might be because I'm an old draft head, right? Old head is now Gen 7. By the way, guys, I'm old. I've been playing draft forever, I guess, now, compared to you guys. I am not in love with this team because I don't personally like similar speed tiers. And right here, and right here, you have base 100s across the board. And I don't like that. It's just that simple. I think they complement each other well. I think the combination of these 4 with Rillaboom is awesome. But I'm not a big fan of similar speed tiers. And then what else did I say? Oh, you have no Scald resist was another thing that I disliked about this team. Your team gets demolished by Scald. But in paper, I think these 4 are going to get you wins alone. They're very good in concept, right? Like, they're very good Pokemon. Your team's not like bottom of the barrel by any means, but it is what it is. Don't mind how Lucha Captain. Oh my goodness. Central has my season 1 team, but better. Well, yeah, it's also a different dex now. You got to keep that in mind. Boomer, don't post an old man emoji. Hey, I'm too old to be 7th or 8th. Me too, Thriller. We've been playing for about the same amount of time. I think I'm 8 or 9 years into this. Central, no, don't say well then. I like these 4 a lot. I'm just not a fan of the team overall as a whole. In general, compared to other... I don't think it's bad. I want to make that very, very clear. I don't think it's bad. But I think compared to other teams, it falls a little bit short. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Central. That's all I'm saying. Guess I'm here to prove you wrong. Listen, if I can start your villain arc by saying I don't like 3 base 100 Pokemon, I hate base 300 Pokemon. How about that? Prove me wrong. Let's see it. Central's team is very color balanced. It is, I will say, it is very color balanced. It is very nice to look at. Okay, next up, we're going to talk, while Central feels bad in the chat, I'm sorry, Central. Throw love for you, man. We're going to talk about Neji and Round 1 Kieran Black, which, by the way, I think Kieran Black, let me just make for sure. Let me make sure I'm not talking out of my butt. Oh, no, it didn't. No, it did. It's right there. And then where did it go here? Right here. So Kieran Black, very interesting. Look at this. My favorite Pokemon. Like, my whole brand. You can look. My whole brand is Kieran Black. I love Kieran Black. It's my favorite Pokemon by far, right? Not a close second. However, this generation, Ruthless, Hone Clawless, there was something else he lost. I think maybe, I don't really remember. He's not it's gonna pain me to say this, he's not a round 1 pick. He needs good support. However, for some reason, Deoxys speed makes it back to you. So on this specific instance, it doesn't matter. Let me see. Since I have faith in you to make it work. Scarf Zapdos. Yeah, you're slightly ahead of me by either mods. Yeah, by about a year, probably. John started my villain last year. Since he said I had the worst weather team, I'm sorry, Zodiac. Please keep in mind, Nothing I say is like personal. I love all you guys, right? This is just my opinions on the teams. And my opinions only. This is not just fact. This is just my opinion. I've played enough OU over the years to say that say QB is a fraud? QB's not a fraud. Let's chill out, man. QB's not I think QB was in Gen 7 third best Pokemon behind Coco and Selly. I'll say it. And Gen 7's probably my favorite draft generation. I like Gen 6 a lot too. I don't know. I digress. I like this team a lot. I'm a big fan of Kieran Black Hazard Stack. That's like my Pokemon, my style of play. I'm here for it. Where this team falls short to me, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about the cons and the pros for a lot of these teams, because these teams have obvious pros. Kieran Black plus Iron Moth works well together. I love Kieran Black plus Team Lou. I'm a fan of Kilowatts with Terra Captain, even though he did me dirty. I don't like Corviknight. I think Corviknight's bad on this team. I think when you want to bring Corviknight, which is going to be quite often, you have a Hazard Stack team, so it's not going to be running Defog, and it's just kind of going to be sitting there and be useless, as Corviknight is this generation, really forced to click Roost every other turn. Or, you're not going to bring Corviknight at all, and you'd rather just have a different steel in its place. Not the biggest fan of Corviknight on this team, but otherwise, I like the team. I had some other stuff, but I'm going to start going a little bit faster, because I don't want to go super in-depth of all of my opinions on this team. But that's essentially where I stand on this team. Like, it's good. It's good. I like Kieran Black, Hazard Stack a lot. Don't like Corviknight on the team. That's my main gripe. Wanted KB, he was taking it. That's fair. That is fair, actually. And then you got DO Speed to make it back to you, so it is what it is. QB, in Gen 7, it was very good because of Z-Move. And it was just... I used it a lot in Gen 8 as well. And actually, my favorite league ever. I believe I used it in EPA Evolution. It was a blast then as well. Very good. It's very good for a creative builder as well. And I'd go as far as saying I'm the best Kieran Black user of all time. Bias, who's to say? Better than Zombie, that's for sure. Everybody be sure to ping Zombie and JJDL General and tell him he's not good with Kieran Black. Don't tell him he's not good, actually. It's bullying. Just tell him I'm better. KB is his favorite Pokemon, yet somehow Oddno is his third favorite. Oddno, right now, is my third favorite. That's actually true. My second favorite is Slithering right now. Actually, look at this little box that my buddy Diet Type bought me. It has my 6 favorite Pokemon in it. I don't know if you could actually see that. It's blurry. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn the blur off. Oh no. Hold on, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. Everything's breaking. Is that good? Oh, there we go. We got Snom, Kieran Black, Hydreigon, Swampert, Mega Oddno, and Slitherwing. My 6 favorite Pokemon. I love them. Okay. Me trying to see that. I'm sorry, Central. I was trying. Central was spraying on my downfall now that I said bad things about his team. Which, we're going to talk about this team now, though. We're going to talk about Bummer. I think this team is extremely good with very little flaws. On paper, you're like, okay, so it's top 3 and then it's a bunch of weird glue pieces, but then you actually start looking into it and you start thinking about it, and it's like these glue pieces cover each other very well. It's like, okay, he has Swampert. Surely if his bulky water is Swampert, he's weak to ice. Well, he has King Gambit and he has Rotom Heat over here, so he actually has pretty decent switches to ice. Okay, well, he's bulky water Swampert, so surely he's weak to water. Well, he has Noivern and he has Hydrapple. Is he really weak to water? Not particularly. Oh, well, he's weak to this, weak to that. It's like, you can just go through a bunch of different things. You can be like, okay, he's weak to this, and then you're like, wait a second, no, he's not. He has 2 good forms of removal. I'm not sure if I'm sold on Hydrapple. Why did I say like Hydreigon? Hydrapple is a Terra Captain. We'll see how it does. Top 3, obviously, I was skating around it. Fantastic top 3, one of the best top 3s in all of the drafts, in my opinion. I think these 3 work very, very well together. Cover each other damn near perfect. I think it's fantastic. Just take a picture on your phone. Let's chill out. I do also really like chien-pao. Chien-pao, so this was made, chien-pao might replace Swampert. Chien-pao would be 7th favorite Pokemon, probably. And 6 Ludicolo. But, so this team, the more you look into it, the better it is. I think this team is just fantastic. I do think there are better teams, but I think this team is fantastic. So, it's going to be one of the best teams in the power rankings. Undoubtedly. It's so good. Now that we're at the halfway point, let me remind you guys, if you have not already, go ahead and leave a like on the video. It's free, helps me out a ton. It helps push us into the algorithm to try to grow our community even more. We're at 29 viewers and 14 likes. I want to see us at least 20 likes by the time I finish my rant in a second. But that rant is going to be that for as low as 99 cents a month, you too could become a John Jr. channel member. You get so many cool emotes. You can see them on screen right now. You can see them in the chat right now. There's so much cool stuff that you can get for as low as 99 cents a month. We're getting more emotes, and it just makes you an integral part of this fantastic community that we are a part of. I'm gonna go ahead and check that like number now. It better be at 20, otherwise there's gonna be unspeakable things that happen to people right now. 18? I'm gonna just start banning people. Central's first. Where's Central at? Central, you're gone. Who's next? We're still at 18. Somebody's gone. Who else is gone? SJ? Goodbye, SJ. I expect better from you guys. Bye. Okay. We are going to go ahead. Oh, I forgot there was a poll running. What's the poll at? Oh, 28 votes. Housing Lou. Liking on my all. Thank you, Cocky. Thank you. Are we at 20 likes now because of Cocky? We are. Everybody, thank you, Cocky. Yo, who's next? Goodbye, Central again. Because I didn't actually ban anybody. Okay, we're gonna talk about Wins team next, and we're gonna try to blaze through these 8. We might not even get to talk about all of the teams today. We've been talking for 48 minutes, guys, and I have not written down anything extra because we're just talking about Chiefs. So we're gonna move forward a little bit. So I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about Wins team a little bit. Wins team, obviously top 2 is Insane, Gouging Fire, Valiant. I think Skarmory and Rotom pair very, very well with these synergistically. Is that a word? Who knows? It is now, synergistically. Other than that, though, I'm not a big fan of any of these Pokemon on the team. I feel like they're all just kind of all right in their own right. Why is Jason FaceTiming me? My friend was FaceTiming me. They're all right in their own right, but I don't see their place really on this team. There were 3 people I think that picked Terra Zarude, and maybe I'm sleeping on it. Maybe I just don't understand it, but I don't think it's that good compared to some other options, but who knows? I might be wrong. Overall, it's a good team. I think these top 4 are fantastic. I think these, not my favorite on the team. I'll go more in depth as time goes on, but the channel members is still up. Oh, thank you, SJ. I was talking about this one. Over here. John wins. Top 2 good. These 2 work well together. Don't like these that much on the team. It's not the route that I would have taken, and maybe it's something that he's comfortable with, but it's not something that I would be personally comfortable with. Look, man, channel memberships go away once we get 5 donated. What can I say, man? I'll put it back up. It goes away once there's 5 donated. All right, moving on. We got Jay Ricky. He's here, so I'll keep it brief. Team sucks. Moving on. We have lost. I'm just kidding. So, what were my notes for Jay Ricky? 1 second. Why is my phone being blown up? Jason sent me a video. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. So, for Jay Ricky's team, I said, my main gripe with this team is that it lacks immediate breaking power. That's my main gripe. You have a lot of good setup options, but you don't have any super strong initial options besides like Thundy. That was like my main concern with this team. Terrazurud is great, but he could have Terra'd Hooper U. So true. Is Terrapos good or is he a fraud? That's a great question. I want to try it very, very bad. I think that in the hands of a good builder, it's very good. I think in the hands of a bad builder, it's not very good. I think it's like Gen 7, Gen 8 Mew. I think it's probably very similar to that, where it's like top tier if it's really good, but if it's in the hands of a good builder. But obviously, I don't know. I've not used it. I'm talking out of sheer concept, of sheer how it looks on paper. Don't say that. Don't say that your team lacks breaking power. It does. It does lack breaking power. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry. We'll move on. Shoutout lost. Terra Turtwig is completely based. I think this dude should win a championship just off the fact that he chose Turtwig to be his Terra captain. But this team's really good. There's not very many flaws with this team. Looks like fun, hazard stacking, momentum-based team. It looks fantastic. It's a team that I personally would love to use. I think this team looks great. We'll move on. Zodiac. Zodiac's team, we have Great Tostundi T Bundle. And then after that, there's a little bit of a fall off. My main concern with this team, I can remember these later ones a little bit better because I did them towards the, like, more recently. My main concern with this team, I like these three and how they function together. In concept, they work very well together. Offensively, they cover each other almost perfect, right? But then we got Sylvia on round 4, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. And then it's just a bunch of mediocre Pokemon. There's no, like... Alright, here, there's no, like, Azumarill. There's no, like, Jirachi 4th option. There's, like, Sylveon, and then no Pokemon really too much better than Sylveon. So, that was where this team fell a little bit short, in my opinion. What are you gonna do when Turtwig clicks Terra Grass Leech Seed? Uh-oh. Me remembering John's BBR record when he criticized these teams. Hey, man, don't get your feelings hurt if I don't like your team. It is what it is. It's all opinion based. And also, I played very good for BBR. There were just a little bit of luck, a little bit of, I'll talk about it more on Saturday. There's a BBR retrospective. Just don't get your feelings hurt if I don't like your team. No need for that. Next up, we're going to talk about Smaster. Smaster was somebody... I thought I saw the memberships up. My bad. Smaster, a team that I think synergizes extremely well. I think this team looks very fun. And I also, again, very much so respect the Garchomp mascot pick. The main concern, and the one concern with this team that I see is... Let's see. 1, 2, 3... I mean, either 4, 5... Out of 5 Pokemon that do damage that I counted, out of 6 Pokemon I counted that do real damage, 5 of them are physical. You have one special Pokemon on this team, and it's Kyurem. That is my main concern with this team. That is like my only concern with this team. I think otherwise this team is very good. Obviously, Smaster knew what he was doing. This team just works very well together. There's not too many flaws you can point out, right? But Kyurem being the only special breaker is a little bit worrisome. A good Reflect can stop you there, buddy. Stop you in your tracks. Why is everybody booing Terra Ceruledge? Well, Terra Ceruledge is good. I think it's very good. I think we might have even underpriced it a little bit. I think Terra Ceruledge is good. You guys are being mean. I will talk about Poke Department now. Let me see. Mono physical attackers only Kyurem. Yep. Swept by Nasty Plot Mandibuzz. I have faced a Nasty Plot Mandibuzz before. Actually, funnily enough, I think I've even brought one. Mandibuzz is one of my most drafted Pokemon. I love it. The next team is gonna be Poke Department. Did I forget to write notes for this one? No, here it is. Big fan of Terra Excadrill, and the core concept of this team is great. It's just overall the power level is a little bit lower than the other teams. If you start looking at it, it's like Excadrill is a round 1. I love Excadrill, but I'm not sold on him, even with Terra being a round 1 pick. And then Ogerpon Wellspring round 2. Again, I'm not really sold on it being a round 2 pick. And then your team overall just has worse quality mons than other teams because of that. I like the concept. I like how you went with the team. Terra Wiglet immediately is going to bump you up 47 spots in the power rankings, right? And I think it's a good team. It's a team that I would draft. Tyranitar, Talonflame, Raikou, Sand, Excadrill. It's a team that I have drafted before. I like it a lot. It's just the overall power level is a little bit lower for this dex. What is Zach's team? We have not talked about it yet. This team is fire. I don't know what John is yapping about. Yo, hold on. Hold on, guys. You want to say something? Say it now. Say it so everybody can hear you. No, don't mute. Go ahead. Say it so everybody can hear you, man.
Say what?
Say it so everybody can hear you. Tell them I'm yapping. Tell them I don't know what I'm talking about.
You are yapping and you do not know what you were talking about.
Really? Okay. Do you want to finish the stream for me?
That team is good. It has sand, and yeah. Where's Zach's team?
We
didn't
haven't got
respond
to it
to
yet. I did. I said we haven't got to it yet. We're just rating pros and cons right now. We don't have to put in actual power rankings.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll watch the VOD and I'll let you know if you were wrong.
Chad is screaming about you to talk about Belly Bolt.
Belly Bolt is the greatest Pokemon ever created, and it dodges hurricanes more than any other Pokemon. Also crits more than any other Pokemon.
I ended the call. I didn't want to talk to him anymore. Central, don't say hi, Obo. Central, the biggest Obo fan I've ever met in my entire life. But that's how I stand on Pokemon departments. How I stand on Jamal's team. Let me just show you guys how I stand on Jamal's team really quickly. How do I make it to where you can't see what I don't want you to see? I don't know if I can. You know what? We'll just do this. There we go. This is how I feel about Jamal's team. I'm making a slideshow for the stream. I promise you he is 48th. He's 48th. It's the way it is. He is 48th. That's it. That's all I wanted to show you. I had to delete a bunch of slides because I did already rank like the bottom 5. Surely you guys can't still see it, right? Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. That's how I feel about Jamal's team. Yeah, he did succeed in drafting a bad team. Humble first to 48th, Sami. Keith. No, let's not see some Jamal hype. We give Jamal no praise in this chat right now. This team is bad. Best one Urshifu Rapid when he has both a water and a fighting already. Very interesting choices by Jamal. And then Murkit, I think Murkit has a fantastic team. This team is nasty. It has good breakers. It has good support, good momentum, regenerator core. This team's fantastic. I like Murkit's team quite a bit. It's one of my favorite teams on this board, to be completely honest. And that's the teams that so far I've rated. At least I'm not last. So yes, everybody in chat right now can know that you will not be last in power rankings because I promise you it is Jamal. It's just Jamal. There's just no way around it. It is Jamal. Okay, let me see how the poll's going. It looks like Ting Lu won the poll. So we'll talk about the Ting Lu people. Dare to beat me. Sorry about that. Okay. I can still be second to last for 3rd season in a row. No, cocky! I have to make you not second to last now on purpose. We'll talk about the Ting losers. Because I have yet to even look at a lot of these teams. Excuse me. I looked at Pep's team and I got a headache because I did not know how to rate it. So I stopped. Because I like Pep's team, but there are some major flaws. So how does chat feel about Pep's team? So my main concerns, let me write this down. I got some notes. Pep. So Darkrai hands, beautiful, fantastic. Do we have hazards? We have Glamora. Glamora on top of that is fantastic. I love that a lot. A good defensive synergy, but I do think Wuchizzy eats another L. We can bounce back and forth if you guys want to. We can do one from Ting Lu, then one from Wuchien, if that's the most fair. How do I get gifted a sub here if I was never in a live before? It might be able to do it to subscribers, excuse me, as well. I'm not entirely sure. Suicune round 3 is insane, I agree. But other teams in this division I don't feel as much fear for, but it's very pilotable. I agree. Hands as the main breaker, that's a great point. However, I do want to raise you a Thunderous Therian. That Pokemon is literally true a breaker. Obviously, you know, it does have setup options, but I think on this team it's very much so forced into a breaker, which is obviously something you don't want. So not great breakers besides Bundy T. Suicune round 3 is not my favorite. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Darkrai stacks fantastic. Another gripe I have about this team, struggles with fairies. Round 4 Tinkaton is also a little bit insane. Right? Let's see. Get rid of Suicune. I should have been ranked last. No, Armenia. Pep strikes me as unethical for round 3 Suicune. Dude, at least he did in Terra, or Terra the Cresselia. He's Canadian, you gotta give him a pass. Round 4 is very early for Tinkaton. Physical side, oh, that's true. That's true. Team is very special. Team is very special, and I don't mean that in a mean way. Gonna get T-Spike with Gamora, send out Suicune, and proceed to not leave for 45 minutes on Showdown, too. Struggles with Scald. Well, you always have Suicune, and Cyclozar can run special, so I don't know if I agree per se with the struggles with the Scald, but I do see the basis behind it. Status in general, I do agree with, is very difficult for this team. It is very difficult. So, chat, what do we say on scale of 1 to 10? What do we rank this team? I think, honestly, because I've been doing like decimal places as well, so if you want to do like 7.5, feel free. I think a 7 is about where I stand on it. I don't know if I should say where I stand on it actually, because that would give you guys some insight into where I'm ranking these teams, huh? But I already said it, so I think about a 7 is where I stand on it. 8. I think 8's fair. I was leaning maybe even 7.5. I've done some funky things like 7.25, in fact. 7.5. 6.5. Okay, 6.5. Maybe a 7. 7. We got a lot of 7s. A lot of people agreeing it's a 7. Okay. All right, I think I agree with you guys. I do think it's around a 7. We'll talk about Potato Z's team now. Now this team, wow, I like this team a lot. Potato Z. So, QB Terra Regieleki Sneasler is very scary. Paired with Team Loose, you have Hazard support and Ogerpon for the Hazard support. Dirge for the Fairy resist, and then Enamorous as a fighting resist. So my main concern right off rip with this team is your Fairy resist is Dirge. You have no Steel type, and I think that is my only concern with this team off the top. No, you don't have an Ice resist either. It's Dirge. Dirge is extremely pressured defensively. Dirge is extremely pressured defensively. No bulky Steel really hinders this team. I really like the concept of Kyurem Black stack though. And Sneasler plus QB is very scary. You say something fell in the background? Don't be playing with me, Thriller. There's nothing on my floor. That's not funny. Don't mess with me. Zapdo's not in here. I locked the door. Or I closed the door behind him. Look at Weavile and look at this team. Yeah, Dirge is a crazy fairy resist. True, but non-Terra Dirge is your only resist. You're going to have to bring it pretty much every week because every team has a fairy, right? And then obviously every team also has... A lot of Pokemon have ice coverage as well. Terra Illumise, get out of here, SJ. I don't care about your opinion anymore. You just complimented Terra Illumise. Get out of here. You should run Terra Ice to resist ice on... Yeah, you could do that on Regieleki and use Regieleki as your ice switch in. The issue with that is then Regieleki is your ice switch in. In general, the stack on this team, the speed tiers, the breaking power, it's all there. Like, this team has good stuff. This team, the only thing holding me back on this team, being sold on this team, is the fact there's no bulky Steel. So where do we stand on this team, chat? Scale of 1 to 10. I think I have... I'd run Double Dance Klefki personally. Yeah, I mean, you might get unawared on by Skeledirge, unfortunately for you. Because Stored Power, I assume, wouldn't do that much, even at +6. Torch Stone could push past you, probably. I don't know. I'm giving it a rating I'm not going to say out loud. I literally saw something fall or something. I don't know what it was, but I saw something fall or move. Look back at the stream and you'll see it. Well, now I'm worried, Thriller. We got a 9 from Cocky. 8.5? Brody, how are you doing? It'll make it to playoffs again? That is true. It will probably make it to playoffs. It is a good enough team. If OGalbina were some sort of bulky water, even Aloe would work here. See, Pate, you had me in the first half, and then you told me that Aloe would work in step. And that is where I have to spit at you, because Aloe is such a bad Pokemon. Thoughts? I don't know. I think you guys are kind of close to where my rating is. I think it's a good team, but I do think the thing that holds it back from being a great team is the lack of a steal. But I think otherwise it's a good team. Can't wait for me to get to you. Ooh, you're down here. It's not gonna be too long. Yeah, Sneasler, Kieran, and Terralecki. Yeah, these three right here. This is a scary top 3, and then you pair it with Tinglu and OGalbina. It's scary. It's a scary team, man. Like, you don't want to really play this team. Aloe mid, Aloe bad. All right, I'm doing good, Brody. I'm doing good. We're just rating teams right now, trying to talk about pros and cons. Okay, we're gonna talk about Smeargle now. I think this is the first Sun team we're gonna be talking about. I think there's a couple. We have Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, Spectrier as a top 3 with Screamtail, Torkoal, Hammerot. What is going on? Fortress, Swamomine, and Leafeon. This is a fantastic team. Where are the downsides? So your Fairy Resist is Fortress. But Wake can just run Terra Steel, Terra Poison. You don't have a fighting type with Spectrier. Spectrier just looks like it was kind of on this team because it's a broken Pokemon, not because it fits. This is a very good team. But again, Spectrier is very out of place. Smeargle. Let's see. Spectrier is very out of place. No fighting with Spec. And no super easy way to break Darks. However, the overwhelming offense here doesn't really care. Does not really care what I have to say. I also like Leafeon as a Terra Captain with Chlorophyll. That mon really is just one coverage move away from winning games sometimes. Better bulk, regen, slow, Wish Passer. I can heal itself and Wish Passing to other mon at the same time. Surely we're not still talking about Aloma Lola. Torkoal as the fighting type? Or what did I say? You ever see a better Spectre Sun team? Just wait till we get to me. That's true. No super easy way to break Darks. There's no fighting type. No. Okay, yes, Gouging Fire is a good way to break Darks, right? But I guess more so I mean switch into Darks and be able to take them on effectively, because Hammerot does not necessarily do that, especially in the Sun. It has Sacred Sword, I guess, so maybe. I guess it kind of depends on what Dark it is, right? Terra Shifter was very good. I do remember that. Okay, boys. Scale of 1 to 10, what do we think about this team? This team, I think, is very good. Again, I do think Spectre's a little out of place, but I do think this team's pretty good. Oh, I had to text Jericho. Gouging Fire isn't everything. I like Gouging Fire a lot. So, I'll talk about it in the stream, but I think Gouging Fire out of Sun is a much worse Pokemon than Gouging Fire with just the option for Sun. I'm not going to elaborate too much, but I'm tired of seeing Gouging Fire without Sun. It makes me upset. 8.999, 8.599. Everybody kind of on the same wavelength. This is a very good team. Didn't even talk about like how Mamoswine fits in or Hammerot fits in, really anything like that. But obviously, like, you guys kind of get the concept. It's a good team. Next up, and again, this is my first time seeing a lot of these teams. I didn't keep up too heavily with the Showdown drafts, to be completely honest. We're gonna go ahead. Lot of nines. Gouging Fire is super hard to check, especially in Sun. My friends. Next up is Bubble Tea. Shout out to Kaki for picking them in this div because of their name. We have Valiant, Iron Moth, Garchomp, Skarmory, Terra, Hoopa, King Gambit, Alola, Pincursion for the, of course, Electric Terrain for Iron Valiant, Iron Moth, even though unfortunately my friend Spike Lee is a horrible Pokemon, and the Terrabasculine. This team is nasty, man. This team is nasty. So the gripes with this team that I'm going to go ahead and point out. Top 3 is ridiculous. A pair with Skarmory and Terra. This is a good team. These top 6 look so difficult to play against in any situation. You Terra Water your Hoopa, it's wraps. Like, this team is crazy. I like this a lot. My main concern is I'm going up and down to make sure you have no removal on this team. Skarmory lost Defog this generation, and while you don't need removal this generation, obviously, because boots exist, me personally, I love using Iron Moth. I don't like using it without some form of remover to deter hazards from coming. That way I can bring Booster and not really be scared of that rock weakness and kind of play around it a little bit better. You can't really do that, and that's my major gripe with this team. I mean, other than that, what can you say negative about this team? What, like, is there something I'm missing? Yeah, no removal, exactly. No, Trey, no! Okay, yeah, we're gonna... Only real flaw is lack of removal with Iron Moth. That's it. That's really it. This is such a good team. What do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10, what do we think? Top 6 is an OU ladder team? Is it really? Is Hoopa good in OU? That's my guy. What do we think, chat? Yeah, this team's crazy. I mean, I would have personally liked to see... Is there like a 6-point remover? Because I'm going to be honest, you like having Pincursion for that electric terrain. Pincursion's not coming to a single game. You could get... May I interest you in one Sandslash Alola? Yikes. Yeah, never mind. There's not a... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? No, 9. 9.2, 8, 9, 9.5, 24. Thank you, Eden. 8.9, 9.5. Can't see a flaw besides hazard removal. Exactly. Pincursion, so it can't be above 6.5. Look, man. If we trade man to man right now, if we trade out this Pincursion, do you have a... Yeah, if we trade out this Pincursion, we can even move Basculin because Basculin's not good. We get like a spinner, like we get a Hitmonchan and a Hitmontop, even though those guys kind of suck. We get like a Toedscruel that's not on the board. Maybe we're cooking. A Decidueye Hisui. Why are they all fighting types? Hello, any removers that are not a fighting type would like to be on the board. Anything. Tatsugiri? Doesn't really fit. Who cares? All I'm saying, man, the option to have removal is nice when you have an Iron Moth. Get Komala over Pincursion. So, how did I get gifted while I was asleep? There have been 15 subs gifted so far this stream. So, which, by the way, while we're at it, great time to plug it. For those 99 cents a month, you too can become a channel member. I forgot. I lost my train of thought halfway through. You get some cool emotes, man. Spam them in the chat if you have them. Leave a like on the stream if you have not already. Helps push us out a ton. It helps me rank your team a little bit better. I see who leaves likes. I don't. I do. And if you leave a like, I rank your team a little bit higher in the power rankings. It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. And if you have a channel membership, boys, let me tell you, you cannot rank lower than 48th. So it's a win-win. Next up, we're going to be talking about Flims. Flimflams. The Wigglers. I love the logo. And remember, this is my first time seeing a lot of these teams. Flavim. So I've never seen this team. We have Dragapult, Urshifu Rapid. There's those cool emotes. Dragapult, Urshifu Rapid, Ogerpon Hearthflame, Hatterene, Empoleon, Overquill, Terra for Ridgiraff, a Pokemon I'm very glad to see get drafted, Garganacl, and then Awfulmon. So immediately, my biggest concern with this team, don't even have to look at the rest of the Pokemon. These 8 points surely could have been used for a Pokemon. Surely we could have put a Pokemon on the board with these 8 points. Look at this. Look how many Pokemon here cost 8 points. Any of these would fit better than all 3 of these combined. No doubt in my mind. Right? Anything here. Are you lacking a steel? I'm gonna be pissed if you're lacking a steel. You're not? You're lacking a ground? Do we have a ground type? Trapinch? Change these 3 to Mudsdale immediately. Please. Please. Or do we have a... Yeah, change those 3 to Mudsdale immediately. That's it. That's what it is. We can't rank lower than 47, actually. No, you can't rank lower than 47. That's true. I forgot about that. We'll get there, Alex. We'll get there. We'll get to this team. I haven't looked at it yet. Garg is terrible. So Garg is a lot worse in draft. I don't hate it, but I see your points. Don't say Trapinch is the GOAT. Garg, Eden saying exactly what I was about to say. Terra Garg is a noob stomper but lacks against better players. Completely true. A better player can kind of see what checks it. Like, if you remember BBR last season, I ran Terra Annihilate with Cloak to take advantage of Garganacl, eat the Soul Cure, get the Rage Fist boost, bulk up. Exactly. So someone who knows what they're doing against this Pokemon, has played it before, they can take advantage of it. I do agree. However, let's say he wants to keep it, he wants to keep Farigiraf, just change these 3 to Mudsdale, right? The only problem then, you lack removal on a team that has Ogerpon, which this is a Pokemon, I don't care what anybody says about lack of removal or like you don't need removal. If you have Ogerpon Hearthflame, you need some form of removal. I don't care. If they get removal, if they get rocks up, you're taking 25 guaranteed, and that's never good. So I'm not a fan of that. And also, you lack a ground resist at all. So there's a couple flaws with this team, but these 3 are very strong together. I like the glue pieces we got going on here. Don't worry, 47 is mine. This guy DM'd me, called me little bro. I've never ended a chat faster. Yeah, I hate that as well. I'm convinced Vaporeon is such a bait of a Pokemon. It might be. But it did get access to Scald again, I believe. So I like it a little bit more than I did pre-DLC. The ground resist is Masquerain. So like I said, there is no ground resist on the team. Not one. Not a damn Pokemon that resists ground. Not one. So, alright chat. We've talked about some pros. We've talked about some cons. No ground resists. No removal with Ogerpon. Bottom 3 Pokemon are not real. Just get Mudsdale. Top 3 are crazy. What do we think of this team on a scale of 1 to 10? I think it starts off so strong, and then it falls off a little bit. It starts off really strong, and then you have some great glue pieces, and then it's like, like there's a lot of points used up here that I feel like are just kind of running in place, not really helping the team improve. I highlighted Farigiraf. I don't even know if Farigiraf is not helping the team improve. I think that's my homie. Can't give him more than a 7.5, 7. Feeling it's going to underperform. No, Ogerpon Hearthflame takes 25 from rocks. Urshifu Gyarados 2 and 3? Wait, what? I love Hat and Empoleon? 6, okay. A generous 7. 8, Hatterene still scares me. 6, okay, we've got a lot of... the general vibe I'm getting from not actually doing math and seeing all these numbers is it's about a 7, okay? I'll be curious to see how it's rated on the community ratings. Next up, we got Lewis, a new JJDL member. And I actually have looked at this team already. I don't remember why, but I have seen this team before. And this is a team that you look at it the first time and you're like, man, Roaring mid best Pokemon, really? But then you look at the supporting pieces and it's like, actually, not bad. The supporting pieces are not bad. It gets better and better the more you look at it. I won't lie. What are we thinking, chat? I think Terra Goldingo is a really good Terra Captain, maybe a little bit underexplored. At least from what I've seen. I think it's an interesting choice. I think Roaring Moon's bad. My whole thing with this team is Roaring Moon, not good. I don't think it's bad. It's mid, right? People call it Roaring Mid for a reason. But this team does a great job at enabling it. I think this team does fantastic at enabling it. It has hazards with Ogerpon. It has great rockers, Clefable, Lando. It has removal, Tentacruel. Resist for Fairy, Goldingo, Tentacruel. It has resist for fighting, Goldingo, Clefable, Tentacruel. Lando. Like, it has what Roaring Moon needs. And I think this team does a great job at enabling Roaring Moon. Instant Fits. Yet every Pokemon does have a purpose. That's something else I like about this team. Unfortunately, Clefable so far. Clefable hater SJ strikes again. Medicham is mid. It's a shame it's his Terra Captain. I guess I don't really have an opinion on Medicham. I've never really seen Terra Medicham used, so I don't know. I think it'll give me Vietnam flashbacks. So, SJ is a very big Clef hater. So now we've aired it out a little bit. We've said our likes, our dislikes, our Clefable hate. We've gotten it all out, right? Scale of 1 to 10, how do we rank this team? This is a team that I had a very hard time whenever I already wrote it down. The angle that I am going at this team with, again, is that it is very good at enabling specifically Roaring Moon. So you better hope Roaring Moon has a good matchup, man. That's the main thing. I love Clef, period. I love the enthusiasm, Eden. I feel like it's gonna be forced to run Terra Steel Gold every week. That is fair. That is fair. That's actually a very good point, Alex. Lack of breaking power. I mean, it does have Lando. Lando's like, no matter what, Lando 145 base attack. Right? What do we got here? 8, 8, 7.5. Getting some around 7 to 8 range here. Yeah, this seems like not bad. I think you put yourself at a disadvantage getting Roaring Moon round 1, but I really do think you made the most out of it, really. I'm impressed with this type of Roaring Moon team. It's a slow team, but looks good, so 8, I don't actually know what I'm talking about. You brought up a very good point, Alex. Lack of breaking power as well. This is completely fair. 7.5. I'm thinking you guys are spitting here. I'm thinking we know what we're talking about in chat. Next up, we're gonna talk about Klies. We got Terrapico, Slowking Galar, Cinderace, Enamorus, Terrazarud. There it is again. I think it was drafted in all 3 Showdown divisions. Don't know why. Is there something I'm missing? Bisharp, Vaporeon, Sandaconda, and Raichu. I feel like I've already seen this team. Have I wrote this team down too? Hold on. Yes, I did write this team down. Oh, yes, okay. So my gripe with this team is that most weeks, which I don't even agree with my own point looking at this team again. My main point was Terrapagos is going to be the win con most times with this week, but you have like Calm My Nasty Plot Gloking, Swords Dance Cinderace, you have Enamorus, Swords Dance Zarude. I don't agree with that point at all. The point that I do agree with is that this team's power level, again, similar to the Sand team that we talked about earlier, the power level is just overall lower than a lot of other teams. He just has not the best top-end Pokemon compared to other teams. I like Slowking plus Ace a lot. Future Sight Ace is a proven true combo. That's a good point. As the world's biggest Klies hitter, I would be giving this a 2. All right, Eden. OGalbina released a Wiseroot is the best Terracap video during the Showdown drafts. No, he didn't. Did he directly impact... Guys. Did he directly impact the drafts? He did not, right? Hold on. We're throwing it up. Maybe. My browser will work. We're throwing it up here. Oh my gosh, she did. I'm sorry about the ads. We'll let the ad play for a second. Oh, it's just a TGS video. It's not even like a video essay. Of course, gotta leave a like while you're here. Support the boys. I'm usually on top of liking all my friends' videos. I haven't been recently. Did Zarude even come out? Oh, it did. Did it get a kill? Did it do anything? Have I been clickbaited? It got 1? It got 2. Okay. So this is why... Huh. Okay. I think Terra's root is Owen directly the reason why this got drafted. Tell me the truth right now, guys who drafted this. Is Tarapo 17-pointer? I think so. Personally, I think with a good player is very good. Okay, but let's talk about this team a little bit. So, my main gripe with this team, again, like I said, the overall power level is a little bit lower than I would like compared to other teams. What are the initial weaknesses with this team? What's our fighting resist? Because we have Terapagos, right? We have Enamorous, we have Brambleghast, we have good fighting resist. What is our initial ground resist? Because we have Slowking, we have Enamorous, we have Zarude, we have Brambleghast, we have good ground resists. What is my initial water resist? It's Zarude and Vaporeon, so we don't love Scald because it's just Vapo. Scald is going to be... you can switch in Glowking to Scalds, though. This seems pretty good. Again, overall power level is just a little... Where's our rockers, actually? Bisharp, Sandaconda. Okay, so that's where this team is lacking. I knew there had to be something why I thought this team was just a little worse than the others. This team does not have great hazards. John, Zarude is a cool Terra Captain. Don't be boring? Or don't be hating? Wait, why didn't you guys tell me that I had the wrong layout on this whole time? It didn't ultimately matter literally at all, but... someone who's considering it, I was not influenced by Owen. Okay. I did not watch the OGalbina video before drafting Zarude. Good to know. Very slow momentum into Enam, Fire Moonblast. Terapagos has rocks, right? Does it have rocks? Before I even look up if it has rocks, on this team, do you want it to run rocks? Probably not. With this specific build, do you want Terapagos to be your defensive glue? Maybe, but probably not. It does have Stealth Rock. You are correct. It does have Stealth Rock. I don't know. What do we think, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10? How do we feel about this team? Like I said, my main gripe is just low power level compared to other teams. The Pokemon are just worse. I say it kind of gets them. So whatever I say, like, this team doesn't have rocks, and they have like a low tier rocker like Sandaconda, or like if I would have said like this team doesn't have a ground type, it has Trapinch, it's because this Pokemon doesn't. You're gonna bring it to a game. Although I will say I'm a Sandaconda believer, this Ginny's not very good. 8.5? Wow. 7.5, 7, 8. Wow, you guys are rating this team really high. You guys like this one, huh? Negative 5.4. Eden has changed officially from a 2 to a negative 5.4. Brambleghast puts it up by a few points, but Bisharp puts it back down. Thank you, SJ. 8.5. Evens out at a nice 7.5. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, go to logo and name. We're not rating the logo, Central, you little goober. Hello? Am I back? My Wi-Fi disconnected for a second. Not at fault of my Wi-Fi, it's at fault of my drivers on my computer. We're back. So we're gonna talk about William D now. Can't wait for the flood of he disconnected messages. So William D, let me write this down. We got Chi-Yu, Gyapdos, DOD, Swampert, Gudra, Clodsire, Noivern, Jolteon, Arboliva, and Serena. There we go. We're back. We're back officially now. So, this team, I don't think it's bad, but you guys know, you know me, number one Chi-Yu hater. I don't think Chi-Yu's a number one Pokemon on a team unless you're like very back wheel and you get something very comparable in power. I don't think it's the best Pokemon on a team, so I don't see this team as having a number one option. And your second best Mon is Gyapdos, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Your Steel and your Fire type are both weak to Fairy, so Clodsire is extremely pressured. And I'm not a big fan of Clodsire in general this generation. I think it's extremely passive in a meta that doesn't allow for Pokemon like that to really thrive. And I'm saying that as Pace says that he hates Clodsire. Is Noivern any good? I think Noivern's good. I think we probably overpriced it a little bit with Terra. But Terra Normal Boom Burst with Throat Spray is a pretty good set. It is a pretty good Pokemon. It adds a defogger, adds speed. I don't know. I'm not in love with this team. I'm not in love with this team. Charles Youth will have your head. LDOD. No way we have DOD haters in the chat right now, Central. DOD's an actual... He might be a true Pokemon. He might be the truth. I don't know. You tell me. DOD's a good guy. The issue here is that this team has no star. The first two picks are all secondary fraggers, but there isn't a top fragger to back it up. In more words than what I said, exactly, Eden. The only reason why I like Claude here is that he needed a fairy resist. Exactly, but the problem with that is I don't like Claude as the fairy resist. I think Claude, like I said, this meta, it's too passive. Or this meta is too offensive and Clodsire is too passive. And it just wants to click recover, and it doesn't really have that ability. Clodsire is a bad Pokemon in this meta, in my opinion. As much as I love the guy, Little Loaf, he's a cool guy, he's my friend. Bad Pokemon in this meta, unfortunately. Is this free Terra? Unfortunately, we're doing free Terra preview. Aside from Arboliva, everyone on this was drafted 2 rounds too early. I'm glad that Arboliva is like a solidified 9th round Pokemon in SJ's headcanon. That's very funny. He's got no good slow momentum into Chi-Yu. He does have Swampert. He does have Swampert. And Serena's not slow moment. I think Serena's bad in general, but... And Serena has to come most weeks, I think. Hi, Jeff. You want to say hello to the chat? Go ahead. Do you have Bear? Did you bring my bear home? Bring her in here if you did. You didn't, did you? No, she didn't bring my child home, guys. What? I've already shown that on stream. People don't. What you doing? Don't be weird. Show your face or don't. Okay, get out of here then. You sleep on Serena? I think Serena's awful. Oh wait, that's funny. That's one of her favorite Pokemon. I didn't even think about that. I think Serena's very bad. I think it's not a good Pokemon. I think it's a bad ground resist. It gets 2-shot by ground types.
I was talking about her today.
Why?
Because Bailey said she liked the baby named Serena. And I was like...
The Pokemon?
Not like Tia, like, or whatever. Spell it.
Like the Pokemon?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He was just chilling, you know.
Hello, wife of Jom? No. Not wife of Jom. No. That is unrelated. That is not a wedding ring. She's not engaged to me. She lives in my house. She's just her girlfriend. We're not renaming the kid Serena. We are not renaming Jayla Serena. No.
It doesn't start with a J, so.
Okay, what do we think of this team, chat? 1 out of 10. Not 1 out of 10. 1 through 10. What do we think of this team?
7.
7?
Yeah.
That's a good grade. Good job, baby. I started a new job this week and didn't get to prep my draft, but also very happy with it being mid. Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
So
Definitely don't think it's bad. Who is who? Cocky! My favorite viewer.
Mine too.
7? 5 out of 10? John Rena, no. 6.5, 6.5. Okay, so very fair rate. 6. Will says it's a 6. Jorina, that's not funny, SJ. Get out of here, man.
Jorina.
5. Okay.
Better than John's idea of a boy name.
Brody. Say hi to Brody, Jared. Brody. All right, I gotta get out of here. Shoo. What? You don't have what?
Any on.
Any what?
I don't have any on.
Shoes? Get out of here. Okay, we'll move on to the next team. Next team. Uh-oh, Pay. It's gonna be Pay. Let's get some feet in chat for Pay. Wait. I just realized, to you who doesn't know what we're talking about,
I just said I don't have shoes on, and now you want my feet in the chat.
No, I just realized that sounds not great to you. Anyway, let's get some feet in chat. Let's see what we got. I can only see the first 3 of East Coast and Napoleon, but I'm giving that a 9 already, which is East Coast and Napoleon. Oh, Lunar Echo? Oh my gosh, that is a good team. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. That is a good team. Let's get some feet in chat. Yeah, it's not a great out-of-context quote.
What does that mean?
Pay's name means foot.
What?
Yeah. Pay's name, Tomás Pécurto, I don't know exactly how you say it. The Pay part of his name means foot. And that's like how he introduced himself to my server.
He said, hello, I'm Foot?
I don't know if it was exactly like that, but in more words, yes. Fear not, chat. I've already quoted. Thanks, SJ.
So are those their logos?
Yeah. So Feet has Latios, Terra Excadrill, Rillaboom, Rotomosh, Tyranitar, Fez, Tauros, Paldea, Fire, Azelf, and Drifloon. I'm a big fan of this team. I think Latios Sand in general is very good. You add Rillaboom on top of that to break the waters. Rotomosh is an ice resist. I think it's very good. I think Terra Excadrill is very good on this team. You have a good ghost resistant Tyranitar. Latios pairs perfectly with Tyranitar. You have removal. You have hazards. There's very little that this team is missing. What?
Not only does it mean foot, it means tiny foot.
Tiny foot. Pécurto. Is that how you pronounce it? Pécurto? I came here and let's get some feet in chat. Wait, Eden! Wait, look what Eden said! Oh. Eden, that made my day. Oh.
And
yeah, so I like this team a lot. I like Fez for a traditionally you'll see like a Moltres on this team for like a good fairy resist, a good ground resist, and also a fighting resist. And I love Moltres on these type of sand teams, but I really like Fez too for a lot of the same reasons. The only issue is it's weak to ground, but obviously, you know, Rillaboom mitigates that severely. Rillaboom is so good here. I like this team a lot. I think there's very few flaws with this team. I'm sure if I dug a little bit deeper, I'd be able to tell you why this team sucks. But I think it's pretty good. What do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10. I didn't even talk about Drop Blom. I hope somebody quote what Eden said, please. That was Draco. Oh man, that is so funny. That I'm just moving that to best of quotes right now. That is 10 out of 10. Fez is actually decent here, which is cool. Let me write down Pay. Very few weaknesses, covers team very well. If dug deeper, maybe some flaws, but overall great. I'm also very biased. I'm a very big Latios fan, very big Sand fan. Way on top of it. Let's go, Draco. Thank you. 8.5, good rating. Good rating, Cocky. What would you rate yourself, Pay? I'm going to bed. Good night, people. Good night, Aurora. Have a good night, man. Maybe a 9? Maybe a 9? Okay. .5. We're getting very similar readings here. Low-key struggles to break steals. I mean, outside of Excadrill, that is a good point. That is true. Outside of Exca struggles to break steals, but at the same time, I mean, extras was coming to every single game, so. Avoid Draco. Everybody's preaching about Draco, and normally, I know last time everybody was preaching about him too, and I ranked him like 16, I think. So we'll see. Foot out of 10. Foot out of 10 is a good rating. Rillabootka's feet. Exactly, Cameron. I said that maybe 10 minutes ago. If you're behind in the stream, I hope you're doing well whenever you catch up. Let me know whenever you catch up to the stream. Okay, we'll move on. To Tommy here. Tommy, a new John Jr. community member. Shout out to Tommy. A new, at least JJDL member. Excuse me. We'll talk about their team here. Rillaboot. So we have Dio Speed, Gliscor, Sylveon, Infernape, Salamence, Bronzong, Toadscroll, Milotic, Terra Sneasel, Skuntank, and Dugong. So my first gripe with this team, Sylveon sucks. Let's stop drafting Sylveon early, guys. I don't know. I hope this isn't like a my community thing that thinks Sylveon's a good early Pokemon. It's not. Let's cut that right now. Let's nip that in the bud immediately. So, what do I like about this team? What do we think about this team overall? What do we not like about this team overall? So with this team, I guess immediately the number one thing, yeah, breaker check. Eden got it right on the nose. The first thing I was gonna say is there's no immediate breaker. You're putting all of your eggs in Salamence breaking everything. And you also want Salamence to kind of be a win con, so that doesn't really work. Guys with no ghost is crazy. Sylveon and Toadscroll are also fake. Wait, that mod is one of JJDL championship? We're not talking about Sylveon, surely. Specs Hyper Beam Sylveon? Yes. However, I want to say Infernape's a breaker, but like his stats suck, man. Like if you haven't looked at Infernape's stats, he has been power crept to hell. That man has like base 104, 104, or 108, 104, something like that. Attacks, offenses, not very strong. So this team, we're lacking immediate breaking power. We have good hazards. We have removal. If I were in charge of this team and I were to make changes, I would drop Sneasel, Skuntank, Dugong, some combination of those Pokemon, maybe even Milotic, and trade that out for a lower tier water. I obviously don't know the board, but I would switch up the bottom tier Pokemon, and I would figure out a way to bring breaking power to this team. In some fashion, I'd find a way to bring breaking power to this team. And a ghost, yeah. Good call out, Alex. This is fun guessing the strengths of the team. I feel like I'm about to graduate and draft. I hope so, Cocky. But I say I hope so is mean, but I'm excited to talk about your team here at the end. I think you got 16th, right? Oh, Cocky. I'm so excited. Get rid of Toadscroll. You have a ground, and Toadscroll is not good. I like Toadscroll. He's a spinner. He's a little spinny guy. He spins in circles. However, for the better of the team, you're probably right. I would just like to see some more immediate breaking power with this team. What do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10, how do we feel about this team? I have to remember to also write what I'm saying down, so I don't have to go back and watch the VOD to write it down tomorrow. Do you speak Gliscor when there's no spin blocker? Do you speak Gliscor when there's no spin blocker? At the same time, I kind of love this team even if it's not the best. Deoxys Spice. Deoxys... I have a weird relationship with Deoxys Speed. I think it's fun to use, and I enjoy it, and I would use it again in the future. But I do think it is a little overpriced. I don't think I would pay 18 points for it. I don't think it's on the same level as any of the Pokemon in 18. Even remotely close. It would be a very mid-tier 17 pointer in my opinion. Like, it's worse than Spectrier. It's worse than Great Tusk. And then I have some other opinions that are like Garchomp probably. I think it's worse than... I'm not too high. Like, I like Dio Speed. I'd use it. I just think it's overrated right now. 5? We got 5 in the chat? Okay. Since nobody wants to post their ratings, nobody wants to be mean, or nice, or whatever. 6 out of 10, okay. 5.5, there it is. Okay, now it's starting to come in. Maybe there was just a lag there. Bye, chat. Time to eat dinner. Goodbye, Central. Have a nice dinner, man. Let me know what you're eating whenever you get back, if you get back tonight. Overall, I think if this team gets, like, drops some of the low-tier Pokemon, mixes it up to get some breakers, I think good stuff. So, we're going to move on now, and we're going to talk about Ant's team. And I'm not going to talk about this team too much. I'm going to talk about this team very, very lightly. Because the fact... I'm going to talk about it more in the power ranking stream. The fact that this team was able to be drafted, everybody in Team Lu, every single one of you, should be ashamed of yourself. There's not one person in this draft that should not be ashamed of themselves. This might be the single best draft team I've ever seen. I've ran through it. There's very few weaknesses with this team. They have 3 top tier Pokemon, and they great glue pieces all around. This team should not be possible. It's a 10 out of 10, and I don't think there's a way around it. I don't think you could debate that there's a way around it, unless there's some massive thing that is a giant oversight in me looking at it. I think this is probably the best draft team I've ever seen, or one of the best draft teams I've ever seen. I saw one with Dragapult chien-pao once, so I mean, it might not top that, but it seems pretty damn good, man. And it's my first matchup. Hey, I want you to know I already rated Ant because he's at least top 5. There's no debating that. So I already wrote him down because he was easy to write down. And I literally wrote down, you will not beat this team because you match up well against it. You will beat this team because you play better. That is the way to beat this team. There's like very few weaknesses. Oh, yeah, that was my reaction when I first saw it too, Eden. It's crazy. We know who got what. There are a lot of teams that are very, very good. But this team's crazy. Hey, good luck. Yeah. Pay, you're going to be testing the waters for everybody here to see if it's beatable. Enam might get a little bit of trouble. It's faster than Iron Shreds. Yeah, Enam could be a problem for sure, but I'm sure Reuniclus takes 2. I'm sure you could tear a Raging Bolt. Because in my mind, the set that would do best for Enam is going to be like Specs in this matchup. Because you lack a poison that resists. But like, even like we're sitting here, we're talking about Pokemon that might give it trouble. Even the Pokemon that might give it trouble, it has Counterblade through. Every single one. There's not one Pokemon that can just beat this team. I can win, I know how to. Let's see. I mean, I hope so, Pay. I mean, let's see. Let's just start prepping on stream, Pay. Let's see what you got. I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to like accidentally spoil something that you actually are bringing. Okay. That team's crazy. Moving on, we'll talk about Alfan. Last season champion of, I don't remember which division, Moltres maybe. Whatever division Jamal was in. Okay, I guess chat, never mind. Let's get a scale, 1 through 10. What do we think of this team? If you say anything less than a 10, you're wrong, though, with this team. Unfortunately. And I hate to praise Ant. I do. I hate to do it. It's a great team. Okay, we'll talk about this team now. I'll give you guys a second to put in some numbers. Anything less than 10 is incorrect, though. Unfortunately. 11 out of 10. I mean, that's valid. 9.5. 9.5 is also fair. You might value some other stuff than me. 10 Terra Primarina. Okay. Bro said Moltres was last season not I don't know what div he was a part of then. My bad, man. Do you even bring Reuniclus on it? That's actually, it's funny you say that. That was one of my notes. Was that Reuniclus, Alex, you might be a John Jr. ult, the way you keep spitting things that I'm thinking or about to say. Because Reuniclus was a Pokemon that I was like, yeah, it kind of just soaks up points here. You could probably get another role. But then I thought about it, I was like, what role would you fill here? The purpose of Reuniclus is to have a Trick Room aspect for Raging Bolt for teams that is slower than I imagine at least. And obviously to have some sort of a fighting resist on a team that has Urshifu. And just a general sponge to soak up hits. So it's like, does it soak up points? Yes, but what would you put in its place? You know what I mean? So, we'll move on. Forgot about Toenail. I'm so sorry. Alfan. We have a team, for sure. Alfan, great battler, right? No disrespect. I think this team, I will outright say it, I think this team is bad. I do think this is one of the bad teams. Round 1 Weavile is it's gonna do you dirty, right? In this dex. Best Pokemon, second best Pokemon, Primarina with Tara. I mean, there's not really. I mean, Ursaluna. I didn't even see Ursaluna down there. This team's not very good, unfortunately. As much as I like Outfan, there's very few pros about this team, in my opinion. It's a whole lot of mid. Whole lot of mid. Outfan's gotten into the habit of drafting very weird teams. If it works, it works, right? Like, it's like Amo drafts weird teams, but it works for him. So, if it works, it works. But generally speaking, when we don't take the coaches into consideration, this is a bad team. It is. Outfan just makes Ursaluna the Terra Cap, and then he's fine. I don't even think that could save him. He's done it for 3 drafts in a row now. I mean, we'll see how it pans out. But I'm not too big on this team. So, I mean, you guys let me know what you think. 1 through 10, what do we think about this team? What do we think are the negatives, the positives, all that? I mean, Ursaluna in the sun feels like it just won't work. What's the reason behind that? Is it because of solar beams? I'm trying to see why Sun Ursaluna wouldn't work. I will say I'm a fan of Sun Weavile. I've used it before. I think it's great. I just don't like Weavile as your best Pokemon. I really don't. 6 right now, 7 if he makes Ursaluna the Terra Captain. Terra Prim. I think Terra Prim is weird on a Sun team, but it's like, can you even call this a Sun team? It's like, it's got Abusers, and then it has a Ninetales and an Executor. I don't know. It's a very weird one to pin down, for sure. Prim does not need to Terra. Yeah, Prim also doesn't really need to Terra. I don't know. Okay, we're going to talk about OutSynced, my friend Nick, who has gotten better every single draft, and I'm very proud of him. Every time I tell him. He has... Oh, I just broke the entire dock. Bear with me while that dock breaks. Oh, good lord. There it is. He has Terra Latias this late in the draft. Keldeo Heatran, his staple Pokemon at this point. Which, by the way, also, he got a new logo. Fantastic. I love it. Superior, Florges, Crocodile. How is this on the dock? Where's the code? Kleavor, Gyarados, and Chinchino. He asked me for a little bit of help with this draft. I gave him some insight on Pokemon that I think work well with Latias. And he got basically, what I like with Latias. He got some momentum with Keldeo, some ways to break darks with Keldeo. Heatran obviously pairs very, very well with Latias. I think Superior is kind of bad, but it also gives him, a ground resist on top of Heatran, which maybe is something that he valued. Crocodile is a very good roll compression into this team. Kleavor gives another option for rocks, as well as momentum and removal. Gyarados is kind of weird, but other than that, I really like this team. Crocodile. Hey. Very good team. Snipe Keldeo from me. I agree. I think it's a very good team. I think there are some Pokemon that I'm like, something probably fit a little bit better here, but I know he also got sniped after Latias, Keldeo, Heatran. He did tell me that he got sniped quite a bit. Dropped a sticky note there. What's going on, BGC? How you doing? Getting Gyarados with another water is smart. So my only concern with getting Gyarados as a second water, I'm a big fan of 2 waters in a draft. I think water's the best type in draft league, probably. It's between that and steel in my opinion. So I'm a big fan of getting 2 waters in draft. My only concern is that these are 2 offensive waters. Keldeo does have the bulk that you can maybe make the argument it's a little more defensive, but obviously it's an offensive Pokemon, and obviously Gyarados is an offensive Pokemon. I don't like having 2 offensive waters. I like having an offensive one and a defensive one. That way the defensive one can alleviate the pressures of being the best defensive type in draft league off of the offensive one. I hope that made sense. To say it in less words, I don't love Gyarados here. I think Gyarados is the only Pokemon that in my mind absolutely I would change. Other than that, it's a good team. Fairy? Yeah, fairies do very well. Do. Go ahead and laugh, chat. I know we're all 3 years old. Fairy does very well into this team. Heatran and Latias is going to have to Terra to get past it. Gyarados is much more of a defensive water than Keldeo. I don't think either is a defensive water, but yeah. My point I was trying to make was maybe you could say it's like got good. Keldeo's good split that, right? I'm not tripping. Oh, no. Keldeo has 90, 90, 90. That's very good stats. Gyarados has 95, 100. I mean, I guess it's a slightly better defensive. Neither are defensive waters, is what I'm trying to say. But what do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10. Let me write this down so I don't forget. OutSynced. And Plurgis kind of early. Good pieces around Latias. Would change Gara. Good otherwise. And also, I didn't touch on this. It has 2 forms of removal and defog Cleavor and tidy up Chinchino. So it's like it's a pretty good team. It doesn't really lack too many areas. Also, Intim, that's a fair point. I still don't think it's a defensive water though. We have an 8. We have an 8.5. Yeah, I think we're about on pace here. 6.5. Okay, a little bit of hate coming Nick's way. Also need to write down Lax Fairy switch. I don't like default Cleavor. Okay, that's a very good point, Alex. That's a very good point. I agree default Cleavor is not necessarily good, but in matchups where maybe you don't need Stone Axe, maybe you don't not necessarily don't need Stone Axe, but you don't need rocks, defog I think is an option on Cleavor for sure. But we'll move on. We'll go ahead and talk about Lunar Echo. Would be a 7, but unfortunately Latias L. Latias might be the best Pokemon on the board with Terra. This dude, you guys don't listen to SJ. If you're getting in a draft league for the first time, just learning about it, do not listen to SJ. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about. We'll talk about Lunar Echo here. I see a Terra Umbreon. 0. This Pokemon, this dude just overtook Jamal for 48th spot. Let me be sure to write this down so I do not forget. We're gonna move on. All right, moving on. We're gonna talk about Ocean next. I'm just kidding, guys. We'll talk about this team. I do think Umbreon's awful. It is usable with Terra, though. Latias is the second most overrated mon after Clefable. Crazy talk. Palafin, Zapdos, but this time let's throw in a Great Tusk and a Hydreigon, as well as a Metagross. This top 5 is ridiculous. The main concern I have with this top 5 is going to be the similar speed tiers of Zapdos, Palafin, Hydreigon. You have removal, you have rocks, you have fairy switch in, you have ground switch ins, multiple. This team lacks a Scald switch in. Sceptile doesn't count. But the top 5 synergize very well together. I don't love Weezingala on this team, actually. You basically never want to bring Misty Terrain because Hydreigon is one of your primary breakers. So that neuters a big portion, a big point with Weezingala. Let me write this down. Top 5 work great together. Not sold on the rest of the team. Is basically where I stand. Past top 5, fantastic. Past the top 5, it just seems like Pokemon that don't really have a purpose to be on this team. I'm glad someone drafted Ryan Gosling. Oh, Palafin. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I like the top 5 a lot together, but these 5, I'm having a hard time seeing how they fit in. Specifically, Sceptile, Smeargle, Weezing. Really don't like how they fit in. Even Umbreon, I don't like how I know I'm an Umbreon hater, but you already had a Dark, and the only reason I would see to take Umbreon is so you have a Dark that's not going to Terra, but you made it your Terra captain, so I don't really understand the Umbreon. It's only 2 points for Web Souls. This speed issue, Smeargle sucks. Let's not pretend. Team is slow. I agree. I just think the bottom half of the team doesn't make a lot of sense. What do we think on a scale of 1 to 10, chat? What do we think on a scale of 1 to 10? I guess with Sceptile, yeah. I guess that's true. Oh, Misty Terrain is not why you draft G-Weezing. I mean, that's true, but it is still an aspect of G-Weezing. And drafting it alongside Hydreigon pretty much says, I'm never bringing Misty Terrain. And you would in Draft League, you'd rather have the option to bring that, right? You'd rather have the ability to bring it than basically saying, I am not bringing Misty Terrain. Or, I'm not bringing Hydreigon. You see what I'm saying? It's not the fact that Weezing loves using Misty Terrain every single week. It's the fact that now you you pretty much say I'm not ever bringing it, ever. .5, top 3 mixed team for me, 7.5, 7. Sentai and G Weezing have to go. So I think all 5 of these have to go, in my opinion. I don't think any of them make any sense here. Like, Cerulege breaks the grasses for Palafin would be the only thing I could think of. As for what I ate, that top ramen hit hard. Thank you, Central. Thank you, man. Okay, we're gonna move on now. We got. I think we're gonna go over just Ting Lu, and we're gonna save Wo Chien. I might stream tomorrow. I might stream Friday. To talk about. Oh wait, I am streaming Friday. It's Mario Kart. I might stream tomorrow. I might stream Saturday for Wo Chien. We're gonna finish these last 2 teams, and we're gonna call it a stream. So we'll talk about Ocean here, and I have already looked at this team a little bit. I'm not a big fan of this team. I think round 1 Kieran in this economy is crazy, and then round 2 Slowking, round 3 Diancie. This just looks like round 2, 3, 4 of a draft. This doesn't look like round 1, 2, 3. I like Scizor on it. Scizor adds removal. It helps Kieran a lot. It's one of Kieran's best checks, so you take that off the board. And Lando gives you an actual number 1 real option because he Terra'd it. But it seems like an amalgamation of guys. It just seems like a bunch of dudes put on a team together that don't really have synergy. I am curious to see what you guys think, though. I think it's, in my mind... Wait, what was I saying? Oh, I believe, Draco, I believe it's based on what gets hit, not what throws off the move. Whenever it's an attacking move, at least. If it's like Will-O-Wisp, Hydreigon can get Will-O-Wisp, but whenever it's hitting something on the ground, it's still... At least this is how I think it works. As long as it's hitting something on the ground, it gets negatively affected by that. But I could be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've used Misty Terrain Tapu Fini. I hate that Pokemon. I like Kieran more than QB. Mods, gone. Out of here. No more feet. Very rated team, but chilly reception to help Kieran DD up. Yeah, that is true. That is a decent point. Swap Ice-Q, excuse me, and Lilligant Hisui. Oh, for the Terra? Well, how many points is Terra Lilligant? That's a good point. Terra Lilligant would be kind of nasty. 17. So he could do that, actually. I think, right? He could just drop Ice-Q altogether into it. Adds power of Dragon type moves used against affected Pokemon regardless of whether... Geometry was right. Let's go. I understand the game that I put my entire time into. Let's get some feet in chat to no more feet. Get rid of that Pokemon entirely. I'm seeing some mixture of views. Ultimately, my gripe with this team is it's just dudes. It's just dudes, it's just guys. There's not really any synergy on this team whatsoever. The only synergy is like Slowking into Kyurem. But it's like you don't have breakers, you just have a lot of support pieces to support Pokemon that don't exist on the team. This is kind of where I stand. But what do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 out of 10. 1 through 10. What do we think? WinCon Scizor goes hard. Listen, man. You're talking to the guy that every time I have Scizor in a game, which is a lot, it's one of my most drafted Pokemon, the first thing I go is, how can I win this game with Swords Dance, Silk Scarf, Quick Attack, Scizor? And then I realize, I can't. And then I move on. Did you know that the most common ice use on ladder is actually a spec set? 8.5, 8.5, 7.5. This is my type of team. This is an SJ-esque team, I would agree. I would describe SJ teams as just fellas. An 8. Is it just dudes? What's wrong with some homies chilling? Listen, man, listen. Nothing's wrong with a couple of homies chilling, right? Nothing's wrong with it. You know what? Maybe I'm too mean. Maybe we'll leave it. Let's move on. Cocky, my favorite viewer of all time. Let's see what we got. Of course, we got the Meowscarada pick. We got the Spanky, and we have Blaziken. So, Cocky, I was looking at your team. I haven't wrote notes on it yet, but I was looking at your team because I like some things about it. This seems like a team that is some underrated fellas that is gonna go to war. Blaziken, Bundle, and Ursaluna Blood Moon. That is crazy. That is crazy. Genuinely. And then you have Annihilate and Meowscarada. If it was your best Pokemon, I would have not liked this team. But for some reason, it's your 4th best Pokemon. So I really like this team. I like this team a lot. For some reason, like, and you got Zoroark Hisui. I know you love Zoroark Hisui. I hate Ditto. I think Ditto's bad. But I'll let it slide. I also think Toxapex is bad. But I see what roles it fills here. Bulky Water, Grounded Poison, check, check. My concerns with this team, lack of rocks, lack of removal. But you do have some guys that hit very, very hard, right? You have some big breakers on this team. This team loses to 1 Scarf Rotom fan. I don't know if I would say that. But that's pretty funny. I've never heard that sentence before, so that's pretty funny. Blaziken and Zoroark are frauds. I don't know. I've yet to see Blaziken in action besides Owen using it. Obviously, OGalbina, not very good, right? I'm just kidding. But I've yet to see it used very often, so I still am holding my tongue too hard on a strong opinion on Blaziken. I don't love Zoroark in general, but we'll see. It's a Zoroark team I didn't plan for Meow, Bundle, Ursaluna, or Blaziken, but I saw big points on the board and succumbed to the pressure. I'm glad to see you spend all your points this season, Kaki. Hyper Offen's gonna need to keep running Eject Button Toxapex. Ditto forcing prep but never coming be like. Why are Zoro and Ditto the Terra here? That's a good question. I do actually agree with our friend Alex. I don't love a Zoroark Terra because it still shows Terra after you Terra. So once you Terra, the surprise factor is gone. You are no longer tricking anybody into thinking that you are a certain Pokemon. You are now Zoroark, who is Terra. So that's the only concern that I have with Terra Zoroark. But I'm guessing it's because he didn't really have any other good Terra options on his team and he wanted to use Zoroark. Because Annihilate, Blaziken, Bundle, and Ursaluna are all banned from Terraing. Was Kaki the one with the Croagunk last season? Yes. Terra Croagunk, in fact. So, I don't know, chat. What do we think? I think obviously there's some weaknesses, but I do think this is the best team Kaki has drafted so far. In JJDL, at least. What are we thinking? Like, there are some heavy hitters, some very obvious downsides, no hazards, no removal, but this team is going to do some damage. I love the Pokemon this so much, and whoever drafted this is super cool and awesome, but this is a 4 out of 10? No! 5, 5, 4? Oh, man. Do you have anything to say, Kaki? What do you think? You want to defend yourself at all? 10 out of 10 because it's Kaki. I wouldn't even give it a 5? No! Kaki, no! 8? I like it a lot. Outglaze, I guess. Awesome. Let's get some chien-paos in chat for Kaki. A Kaki out of 10. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up stream, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while we talk about what we think of these teams. I do plan on streaming Friday. We're gonna stream some Mario Kart. So if you want to be there Friday night, it's gonna be 5 or 6 p.m. EST. We're gonna play Mario Kart with viewers, or if there's no viewers there that have Mario Kart, I'm gonna be playing by myself. I almost said with myself. That wouldn't have been good. Jericho will be there too. She'll be playing too. So if you want to tune in, you want to play some Mario Kart on Friday, come through and join us. I'm gonna stream us talking about Wo-Chien tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I don't know. We'll see how busy I am. But thank you guys for hanging out, man. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you. Congrats to you if you got a channel membership. And I really appreciate all of you being in the JJDLs this season. We're going to make it the best season so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.